They know what'll heal this country. I'm going to ask them just what that might be straight ahead. And President Biden relaunching the Cancer Moonshot Initiative, aiming to cut the rate of cancer deaths in half over the next 25 years. But first, I want to start with this very important story. Reaction to the explosive lawsuit rocking the NFL. Former Dolphins coach Brian Flores alleging racial discrimination. The league calling the suit meritless. But tonight, he is getting a lot of support from current and former players.
We're seen as people who can't lead. I mean, I'm speaking African Americans. There was a notion of African American quarterbacks not being able to perform at the level of white quarterbacks. There's a notion of African American coaches not being able to perform at the level of white coaches.
And I believe that he should have filed a lawsuit. And what's more embarrassing about this whole situation was the memo that the NFL put out just disregarding what Brian Flores has to say.
Black coaches are not awarded the same opportunities as their white counterparts, right? Black coaches are they take longer to get hired. They get fired faster.
The NFL owners are the ones that determine who will be the head coaches for their football teams, and they have no incentive to hire black coaches, minority coaches, because they don't have to answer to anybody.
All right, this is a real conversation we're going to have here. No holds barred. Brian Flores joins me now, along with his lawyers, John Lefarakis and Douglas Wigdor. Thank you so much. It's good to see we go way back from other things that you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming on. Why are you doing it?
For a number of reasons. First and foremost, I think there's one black head coach in the National Football League, and I believe that the system is broken in the National Football League in regards to hiring minorities and black coaches, head coaches, and people in positions of power, GM, head coach. And I'm doing it because I think about my two boys and my daughter. And there just simply isn't enough representation of people who look like them in head coaching roles, in general manager roles, in executive and president roles in the National Football League. And I want them to be able to look at those roles. I want them to be able to look and believe that they can get into a role like that. And that's simply not the case right now.
You know what people say, Brian, look, man, you had a very successful career. You can still have a successful career. You can make a lot of money. You know, black man doesn't really get a chance to do that. You're risking it all. And you say what?
I say this is not about me. None of this is about me. I think, look, we didn't need to file a lawsuit for people to see that there's issues regarding the hiring and firing process in the National Football League. I mean, just look at the numbers. Mm-hmm. Look at the players in this league. 70% of the players in this league are black, and you're telling me that there's only one qualified black coach, one qualified person to coach an NFL team. I think there's a lot of issues.
I want to read some of the things. Several athletes have pointed out that it's really the NFL owners that need to answer to this. They are the gatekeepers for change. I'm sure you agree with that. There's not a single black owner, and your lawsuit compares the league to being like a plantation. Do you see this ever changing?
That's why we filed the lawsuit, because we
Do
need
you really
change.
think it's like a plantation?
A modern form of that. Look, the people who make the decisions, and the people who are working, the players. 70% of them are black, and the people who make the decision, the majority are white. And what we're trying to do with this lawsuit is really create change. And I think, people talk about it. We implement, a policy here, a policy there. I'm not looking for fluff policies. I'm looking for real change, and that to me that starts in the hearts and minds of people who make those decisions, and that's got to come through dialogue. That's got to come through communication. That's got to come through keeping an open mind and being willing to talk to and get to know people that are different than than you're used to. Quite frankly, I think that if an owner is not willing to do that, then he's not fit to own in this league. This league is better than what they've shown.
I jumped off of, I was in LA last night and I got off the red eye, and the first thing, as soon as I got home, just stuck in traffic, as soon as I got home, I turned it on First Take and I saw Stephen A. They were having a conversation about this. I want to play this, what Stephen A. said, and then I'm going to bring the rest of you guys in. Let's play what Stephen A. said.
All these social justice issues that we attacked, and it was valid and legitimate. But we saw players in the National Football League and players in the NFL addressing that. This is an issue too. This is an issue to protest about. This is an issue to speak about. This is an issue to come together as athletes, black athletes everywhere, and say we got to do something about it.
We all remember what happened to Colin Kaepernick. That's why I said, why are you willing to risk it all? Because Colin Kaepernick hasn't worked, and he just took a knee. You know, from a service member who told him it was more respectful to take a knee. You are here, you know, out here on your own. You got these gentlemen supporting you. You have other players supporting you. But what do you think about what Stephen A. said?
I'm not on my own. I've gotten a lot of support, a lot of text messages, emails, phone calls, a lot of support from other coaches who've gone through similar experiences that I've gone through. So I'm not on my own, and this is bigger than me. This is bigger than football. This is, this is for generations, but for those who came before me, and those who generations to come.
We hope that the owners see this as an opportunity. Coming together, as Stephen A. Smith was just talking about. Opportunity here to do the right thing. We've put this on a silver plate for them to say, you know what, we can do better. We will do better. We're going to start hiring more black coaches at all different levels. We're going to make sure that we do the right thing. Unfortunately, they've taken the initial stance of denying things, even though they haven't done investigations. But we hope that as the outpouring of support comes for Coach Flores, that things are going to change.
You want to jump in, John?
Yeah, I mean, the amount of people who, when we've been together traveling today, and since this broke, and obviously listening to the conversations of people calling Coach and talking about, how grateful they are and how thankful they are, and now how they feel like they can come forward just off of his courage and obviously lending himself and sacrificing it all for the greater good, for a cause. So, the intended effect of promoting change and stepping out it's working. It's working.
I want to ask this because I think it's very important. You also, and this is a very serious charge, right? And it is a charge. You also allege that Dolphins owner Stephen Ross offered to pay you $100,000 for each game you lost in 2019 in order to tank the season and get the first pick in the 2020 draft. You're a coach who's trying to motivate players to win games. That is a serious charge.
This game has done a lot for me. It's opened doors for me that would have never been opened. So to hear that, to disrespect the game that I love, that's done so much for me. That was appalling to me, and I wouldn't stand for it. But that's I would say that's not as unfortunately it's more common than you think. I think there's another bridge coaches or something that happens in the National Football League. Which what I mean by that is you hire a coach, you don't give that coach the resources necessary to field a competitive team, and then you get rid of that coach. That happens. It's happened. And quite often it happens to black coaches, and it's unfortunate.
Stephen Ross has denied that. The NFL says they're going to fight vigorously against it. They've denied that this. What do you guys say to that?
They came forward, within an hour pretty much of us filing a 60-page complaint rife with allegations of criminality, inappropriate conduct, racial discrimination, which is obvious by the numbers, and within an hour, just flat out, this is meritless. No investigation, and said earlier, they investigated deflated footballs longer than they've even given any consideration to these serious allegations. I mean, it's ridiculous when you actually think about it.
I'm so happy that you gentlemen came. Thank you again. I'm so glad they're speaking out, and you have a support system around you. It's good to see that. And thank you. We'll have you back to discuss this as this continues on.
Appreciate it.
You're going to fight it. You're going to continue the course, right?
We certainly are.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro.